I'm Billy,
And I'm the more important character, Steve.
and welcome to our awesome South Science Show. So, on today's show, we'll be talking about how mercury affects the brain function. But first, what is mercury? Steve?
Well, mercury is the 80th element on the periodic table of the elements. Its atomic number is 80. Its atomic symbol is Hg, and its atomic mass is 200.59 atomic units.
Yes, Steve, it has 80 protons, 80 electrons, and around 121 neutrons. Mercury is a metal, but unlike most metals, mercury is liquid at room temperature. Now, we find mercury in thermometers such as this one, or in the burning of coal from power plants, such as this one.
Now, the type of mercury we'll be talking about is methyl mercury. Billy?
That's right, Steve. Methyl mercury is a mercury that's bonded with hydrogen, carbon, and an anion such as chloride or hydroxide. It has the formula H3 for 3 atoms of hydrogen, C for carbon, which is bonded with a cation of mercury, and an anion of some random anion such as chloride or hydroxide.
Now, when mercury precipitates onto runoff streams of water, such as lakes, streams, or oceans, tiny microorganisms in the water convert the mercury into methyl mercury. When fish eat these microorganisms, the toxic methyl mercury starts its way up the food chain.
As the smaller fish get eaten by the larger fish, methyl mercury accumulates more in the larger fish. When we eat fish such as tuna, sharks, swordfish, and or king mackerel, we're eating fish with a lot of methyl mercury accumulated in their body.
Here in Southern California, we have a large population of people. Many of these people eat large fish, because big people eat big fish, especially tuna. But why is this all important to us Southern Californians?
Well, Steve, methyl mercury is very dangerous for our brain. When we eat large fish, bought or caught in Southern California, the high levels of methyl mercury begin to damage parts of our brain. The main parts of our brain that methyl mercury affects are the visual cortex and the cerebellum in the back of the brain, as methyl mercury targets and kills neurons in these areas of the brain.
The visual cortex is responsible for processing information from our eyes for use in our brain.
The cerebellum is used for helping coordinate and fine-tune movement, such as balance, posture, accurate timing, and fine motor learning.
So, when methyl mercury enters your brain, it kills neurons that help you interpret what you see and perfect motor movement. If you get too much methyl mercury in your system, you interpret what you see and your posture could all be affected. Basically, methyl mercury does this to your brain. Dude, methyl mercury is evil! So evil! It's evil!
Okay,
As you can see, methyl mercury is bad.
yeah, our Steve here did have tuna for lunch today. Well, in general, methyl mercury can kill you if you have too much. Now, nobody really knows why or how mercury kills neurons, but studies that have done by scientists so far have shown that methyl mercury could disrupt mitochondrial functions as well as neurotransmitters that send information from cells to our neurons. It's also believed that properties of methylmercury can destroy a whole neuron structure. In our opinion, it has something to do with mercury's properties that cause chemical reactions with neurons' electrical and chemical properties, causing confusion within the neurons.
Now, you can tell when mercury affects your brain based on your hair. Normally, you have 2 parts per million, or ppm, in your hair. That's an average amount of ppm. But when your hair follicles reach about 50 ppm of mercury, then you can tell that you do have mercury poisoning.
For now, here's what you can do to reduce your chances of methylmercury poisoning in your brain. You can firstly stop eating fish caught off pollution-filled beaches and reduce your consumption of big fish such as tuna, sharks, swordfish, and king mackerel. And Steve, come over here.
You can also secretly and independently do more research on the effects of methylmercury on the brain. Since the government is so friendly with the energy companies, they're not going to do any experiments on the effects of methylmercury on the human brain. So, if you want to know the effects of methylmercury, you gotta try it out yourself.
Finally, if we want change, we have to act. We should present legislation before Congress to research the effects of methylmercury and to help regulate the amount of mercury released into the atmosphere. This will limit the exposure of mercury into humans, making this world a healthier place for all. Well, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you found this video quite informative. We'll see you next time on the Awesome Sauce Science Show.